Hello, good morning. We are on our way to Eston 4x4 for the day. A little picnic out in the bush. Go check what's happening there. We haven't been there. I don't think this whole year we haven't been there. We've been out exploring other places and seeing new things and having a lot of fun. But that place has always been really popular and special to us. So we're going to swing back past there, say hello, and see what's changed today. What a stunning day it's turning out to be as well. It was a beautiful sunrise this morning on the road. We've just jumped onto the R603 and we are about 15 minutes away from the gate. We're pulling into my favorite time of year now. A lot of the trees' leaves are starting to turn that nice orangey brown color. In the green never really goes away, but we do get a little bit of that cool autumn colors that pop out now and then. I enjoy it mostly because it gets colder. I am not a fan of summer camping. It's much easier to keep warm than it is to keep cool when you're camping off grid. So winter is definitely a welcome season for us. In terms of keeping warm, what we often do is we run electric blankets in our setup. So either in the trailer or in my rooftop tent. In the trailer there is a double 100-watt electric blanket at the moment, and that's a 220-volt blanket because we tried the 12-volt stuff and it's just not worth the effort. It is not efficient. They don't get anywhere near as hot as the 220-volt options do. So we've got inverters, let's use them. And the power consumption is a negligible difference. It's not really even worth chatting about. So I run a 60-watt single bed electric blanket in my rooftop tent. That's more than enough for me. Generally what we do to help us kind of, be comfortable when it's really cold, I'm not talking about the 10, 9, 8 degrees. I'm talking about 0 with, the wind chill factor hitting the side of the rooftop tent. We're very lucky. The Jetstream teardrop trailer is essentially a fancy cooler box, so it's extremely well insulated, and we can be in -6, -7, which we've done, and sleep just with the duvets and be quite fine in there. Hey my boy, sit back there on the road, hey, sit nicely. So the 60 watt in my rooftop tent really does make a difference. It just takes off that bite when it gets really cold. I haven't done winter camping in the rooftop yet, but that same 60 watt was what I was using on the floor inside my old Oz tent, RS1, little sort of like a swag tent. So I would run an extension from the van and I would power it that way, and now I'm just doing exactly the same thing, but it's in the rooftop tent. So I'll pop it onto number 3, the highest setting, just before we are going to start getting ready for bed. So let's say half an hour, 45 minutes before, get everything all nice and toasty, and then I'll climb into bed, drop that down to 0, in fact switch it off sometimes, and then again in the morning around about 1, 2 o'clock, when it gets that nice real bite to the air, I'll click it back onto number 1 and then let it idle through on 1 until I wake up whenever I decide to. So here is the entrance road going down to Eston, essentially where the campsites and the main reception area is. Very chilled road, not that bad. The only time this road becomes a challenge is when there's been some moderate to heavy rain for a sustained period of a few hours. Then you can get up here in your vehicle, no problem. It's only when you're towing something does that become a bit of a challenge. And as you can see, like sections like this on the road here are really not conducive to towing anything other than a off-road trailer down here. We've got a gravel road caravan, and yeah, we can't get that down here. The teardrop gets down here, no problems, and a lot of the other Conqueror style, Metallion style, and I think they even had bush larpers down here recently, they make it. But your general gravel road caravans, you're going to end up getting quite a bit of damage coming down this road. As you can see, it's fairly bumpy, and then if you're coming up here and it's raining, you're going to have a very tough time towing anything more than 750 kilos up here. That little sign there is pretty much the point where your cell phone signal now comes to an end. So until we go up to one of the mountain summits, there will be no cell phone signal down at the farm, so you need to prepare yourself accordingly. All the amenities you could require are down there though, from braai areas to picnic spots to showers and toilets, but there are no cell phones signal reception down here at all. Here is one of the first river crossings, and you'll see what they've done here is they've begun to erect some gabion baskets here just to try and prevent the extensive damage that they suffer when it rains here and there's flooding, which has happened a few times now since those April floods we had here in KZN once upon a time. So you'll see this used to be the entrance that we used to come down. We used to cross here, go up there. But what's happened now is they've reverted back to the old entrance, which was pre-April floods, and they've excavated and dug it away because this has now become just too deep to cross. You can see just here in the distance, just where my finger is, there is 3 hippo. So Eston does have hippo here, and obviously always be aware of where you're swimming and what you're doing. But you can just see them there. I'm not sure if the GoPro will show you, but they're there. So this is the little road up out. Not too bad. I'm not even in high range, so 2x4 friendly. Everything we've done so far is accessible with a 2x4, as long as you have sufficient clearance. That is the, you know, it's always the deal breaker for just about anything. Even a 4x4 with insufficient clearance will struggle in places. I've done a huge amount of work to the roads here. So despite what it appears, it's actually not bad at all to get in here now. And this is the main area here at Eston, the ablution block. A lot of you will recognize this from previous videos, the boma. There is the sort of conference area, outdoor conference area. Up here is the bathrooms. At this area there's 4, there's another 4 at the bottom, and then there's another set at the top. Little scullery washing up area. Out here is the donkey, which provides hot water for the ablution block. The wood for the donkey stays there. All the bathrooms are essentially the same layout, so C1 you see them all. Some of the nicest ablutions you will find at any off-grid campsite. Eston is technically classed as a semi-off-grid. We use the term off-grid because they do not require anything from the municipality. They pull no resources from the municipality. Everything they do is through their own efforts. So the water is pumped up into storage tanks via a solar pump, heated from a donkey. No electricity, no cell phone signal. Here is where the parties happen, or just a general nighttime plek, big boma bonfire area. Outdoor seating here. This is a very popular spot for events. We've had up to 80 people here comfortably before for off-road training. Covered, shaded, with stunning river frontage views, and I mean, this is just the best place to bring the kids to play. It's safe, you can sit and watch them quite happily. Eston is and has always been as rough as you make it. Obviously with the rain and the floods, certain things have changed, but by far and large what you see here is the main roads, and these are not difficult or impassable by any measure. Very easy to drive. Just practice the most simple and straightforward off-road rules and you'll be fine. So to reiterate, if you can go left here and then you have a much more challenging section, or you just do what we did and stay straight, because I don't feel like doing that right now. Our picnic spot for the afternoon. Front row seat to the best childhood money can buy. How cool is this awning? All the shade. Let's check some different setups. Ah, don't close!
Oh, sorry.
It's okay, it's okay.
It's not the most
Doesn't matter.
at the moment.
There we go. It's kitchen, fridge, slide. 1, 2, 3 ammo boxes. Another box. There we go. Very nice. Check the 270 awning they're rolling with. This one's made by Awnings Galore. Plenty shade. There we go. Let's go check out Jock's setup. They've got the TJM 180 pull-out awning with all the sides. Drop down fridge slide on the 75 litre. Full custom Adventure X battery setup in the back here with a 1600 watt inverter, 30 amp DC and a 20 amp MPPT with a 200 amp hour Adventure X lithium battery on the side. Let's check it out quickly. Still haven't done a full rundown, but we'll get there. So here's mine. I'm waiting for my canvas to come for all these bits and bobs. I've done a little prototype proof of concept here just to use the unused space above my water tank. First aid kit, gas bottle, recovery gear. This is generally open. The little food case there. Another little prototype thing that I bought here is this little wooden holder for my chairs, front runner chairs, and my table. It's our fridge, rooftop tent. I run an LU cab shadow on. Let's go check here.
All of them the same.
Here's the picnic spot.
As you drop off, you pick up. As you drop off, you pick up.
And the kids are living their best lives. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to reinflate my tires. Fortunately, with the battery system that I've got, I don't need to be idling the car. So we're on 1.95. What we'll do now is we'll just wait and then check it again and kind of keep going until it's up to about 2.5. So we're sitting at now 5:20, making our way up and out of Eston. Lovely day, having a little bush braai, checking how Eston's looking after all the rain they've had. They've done some fabulous work out of here, and I reckon it's ready for just about anybody with a vehicle that's got a bit of clearance. You don't need to do the obstacles, you don't need to tackle the tough tracks. Still driving in 4x2, you can come through here, mission around, and pretty much drive up until your comfort level says I better slow down a bit, and then picnic and enjoy the facilities that they have to offer. Especially at the moment, the river crossings are very low, so all the rocks are visible. There's no need to struggle with anything. As you can see, it's a beautiful place even in the evening. Right, if you've made it this far, cheerio, thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next one.